I'm Krishna. I'm having 10 years of industrial experience working for a global MNCs as a lead cloud engineer and database architect. Also, I'm having a 4 years of experience in a corporate training. Hi everyone, welcome to KSR Datavizon EdTech. Today I'm here to introduce about Cloud Data Engineering course, which we are going to start a new batch from next month, and we will touch upon the currently ongoing batch details. So let's check out the details. The agenda of this video or a content is we will be discussing about what is CDE. So many people are talking about cloud data engineering. So before we go into a cloud data engineering, what is cloud computing? So we will talk about what is cloud computing. I'll try to put more as fun as easy way to understand. And what is this course content? What are all the topics we are going to touch upon as part of this training course? And what are the technical aspects, are the technical areas we are going to cover? And what is our primary goals out of this training? So what we are going to learn from face to face or a technology to technology, and how much time it is going to take to complete our training, and what is after training, what we are going to take care, how we are going to get the job, how we are going to attend the interviews, and all we'll discuss. And finally, we'll have a summary. So the technical aspects are the technical areas we are going to cover as part of this training is a MySQL to cover the SQL knowledge, analytical knowledge, and it's a must to have for the every data guy. So when I say data guy, he could be a data analyst, a data engineer, or a data scientist, or a machine learning guy. So whoever, it's a SQL is something is a mandate to have. Okay, and we will be talking about a DBT, which is one of the great cloud tool to create the modelings in the right now in the market, which is a DBT cloud tool. And we will be talking about a cloud-based data warehouse, extensively used at a multiple industries in multiple countries, and highly rapidly used cloud data warehouse in the market, which is a Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse, and a cloud service provider. So what are the data engineering we can do in AWS? So we have a different cloud service providers like AWS, GCP, or an Azure. In measure of the percentage, if you compare in the global wise, which cloud service is getting used extensively and in most of the companies is AWS. It captures almost a 40% of the global market. So we will discuss all these items and what is the timelines on this. Okay, before we talk about little bit technicals, right? So cloud data engineering, as I was saying, everyone talks about cloud is this, that, it can do everything. So let me put a very in a simple way that what is cloud computing. Okay, so let's take one simple example. You might have heard the same thing. I'll try to put the same thing in a different way, how in a real time we can able to understand what is cloud. Okay, so let's imagine you have some smartphone. Okay, not you have, we will be having these days. Smartphones are so handy, so everyone have a smartphones, and we are very intent to take a lot of photos or videos or something like a lot of things capturing. Okay, we will be capturing with that mobile. Okay, but what will happen eventually, the 200 GB or 180 GB or 160 GB or 1 TB, whatever the memory size is given in the smartphone, we will be running out of that space because of we are tend to take a lot of videos, lot of photos and all. So now the problem starts. They have given some storage and we already used the storage. There is a lot of storage. Okay, but you have a storage and you want to keep them safe, and you are not at all willing to delete that data either. So what we need to do, we can't buy another phone to have a half data over here and half data over there, or we don't want some so laptop or an external device to attach and always carry with us. So how we are going to solve this problem? Okay, so now just imagine, okay, a big fluffy cloud was there in the sky. So we always see, right, so it's a raining season, you can see a lot of skies in a lot of clouds in the sky. Okay, which you cannot physically touch it or can hold it. Okay, but it is always up there, right? So now you want to keep, what if I say that you can keep all your photos from your phone, laptop, or your external devices, you can keep it in that cloud, internet cloud, safely with secured and no kind of hacking, or no one can able to access the data. You can encrypt the data, you can log the data, you can do many things with that. Okay, so will you be surprised with that word? So that's nothing but it's a cloud computing. Okay, which gives you an enormous and unlimited space to have your data stored or data processing or whatnot in a data engineering world, right? So like for an example, I could say, because it's like it's going to store all your stuff in a virtual cloud, which is not in your mobile, which is available somewhere else. It's kind of like a cloud which you can able to virtually imagine all your data is there, and within minutes or within a seconds you can able to access your data. Okay, so when you want to access your stuff, okay, like your favorite games or videos or photos or whatever it is, okay, it's carrying all time with you is going to be a little tedious task to you. So just connect to the internet and use any device, either it is a mobile, laptop, or your tab, or whatever the easy way of your device you have, and access your things which is there in the cloud. Okay, it's not only you have to capture. If you are in India, you have stored it in India. It doesn't mean that you have to be in India. You can be in the US, UK, or anywhere in the world. You can able to access that data. Okay, so that's where you get a more of flexibility that cloud can able to access from anywhere. Okay, so and also, right, you always, what happens, you start keeping a data. Storage will be capturing. So how cloud computing is going to solve that? Okay, we don't need to worry about the storage over there. All will be handled by a cloud service providers. Okay, if they say that there is a guy who is maintaining everything for you, and he says that you can store everything in the space which I'm giving, I can securely save it, and you can able to access from anywhere within a fraction of seconds. Your data is available. Okay, how he is going to maintain is something you don't need to worry about it. He will take care of that all infrastructure. Okay, he might maintain a very big group of computers or devices or some kind of storage units or big data centers. He will maintain himself. Okay, you don't need to worry. We don't need to take that kind of headaches and all. Okay, he will maintain all kind of servers and all. They might call it as a servers or a data units or whatever it is. Okay, he is giving you a flexibility to use that kind of data centers and make your life easy of storing something or processing something. Okay, which will happen virtually from anywhere of the world and from any device. Okay, it could be from your mobile, it could be from your laptop or your office laptop, your personal laptops, wherever you want, you can able to access the data. Okay, so now you see, right, your programs are running, you're storing your data, you're processing a lot of data with large power and all. You can able to do it on a cloud which is virtually your feeling and virtually is available for you. Okay, so now it makes sense, right? So now I'm all this time I'm talking about an individual person who wants to store a data. So hardly we will store 1 TB, 2 TB, 3 TB of data. What if it is a businesses or if it is in organizations, they have a lot of important data, important informations and programs. Okay, so they are going to use enormous storage or enormous processing stuff. Okay, so that's where it all, a big cloud servers or a big data centers all will be used virtually. Okay, so this kind of storing somewhere else and accessing it from anywhere or anywhere in the world with a right security implementation, and it is always availability, the durability and the security, governance, compliance, everything is available in a one place called as in a cloud compute. Okay, so now you can go to any job profile. The minimum to minimum they're asking is something you should know at least a one cloud service provider or a one cloud data warehouse or a one cloud tools. Now everything tools are moving towards into a cloud. Everything is hosting on a cloud. The era of having the tools on your local system and running on your local hard disk and all, is that area is gone. So now everyone is expecting you to know some kind of cloud knowledge when before you entering into in a project or if you're going for any job interview. Okay, with that, I hope I made some sense with what is a cloud computing. So let's move on to a course content. So let's very quick glance on that MySQL and Snowflake. What are the topics we are going to discuss as part of this training? So MySQL, so we will be learning about what is SQL, what are the functions we have in a SQL, what are the kind of logics we can write, what are the analyticals we can do, kind of stored procedures, functions. Okay, so how can we call the functions? This all we will be learning, including the tool installation we will be learning. So in MySQL, we will be covering tool installation, building a database, tables using a SQL commands, creating indexes and keys, how you can able to do the data optimization, data accessibility optimizations for a faster retrieval results and all, and maintaining the constraints and how you can able to update the data day to day, incremental data or historical data, and how you are going to access the data, how you are going to get your analytical results out of that, to solve your problem. Join with the multiple tables and get the data out. Use them built-in MySQL functions. So you have to learn all the functions when you go for an interview. They high possibility of asking a functions. Let's explain what this particular function will do. Okay, for at what scenarios we use this kind of functions. Okay, and exporting, importing a data from MySQL and to MySQL we'll be learning. And what kind of transactions, so commit, rollback, or how how the transaction works, in a databases, how the data will manipulate in the backend. This all we will be learning as part of this MySQL. And comes to Snowflake Cloud Data Warehouse, very, very much important. And you could even Google it, that how many companies are currently adopted a Snowflake and having their data resided on a Snowflake, and how it is actually solve the industrial problems, and how could they increase their business ROI using the Snowflake, cloud data warehouses. Okay. So when it comes to Snowflake, we will be learning about creating a trailer accounts, what are the Snowflake users and how the UI will be working. What is a SaaS model? It's a cloud SaaS model, software as a service. What is the SaaS model? How SaaS model will work? And other integration tool from the Snowflake is called as the SnowSQL. Whoever is been, bit of comfortable with the command line interrupters, they can able to work on the SnowSQL stuff and understand the architecture, how backend the Snowflake works, how the optimizations works, how the metadata will be worked on, how you can able to integrate with the different tools, how the data will get resided. So this all we will be discussing as part of the architecture. And loading, unloading the data from a Snowflake or to or from the Snowflake. That means inbound and outbound of the Snowflake we will be learning. And real-time data processing, or real-time CDCs, change data captures. Okay, user-defined functions, stored procedure, tasks, a scheduling. So many more advanced topics we will be discussing and covering as part of the Snowflake, cloud data warehouse training. Okay. So coming to very quick glance on AWS and DBT. So AWS, as I said, AWS is one of the major cloud service provider in the global market right now, which is capturing a 40% of landscape existing in the clouds. Okay. Almost 40%. So after that, we have an Azure, and then after that, we have a GCP, and there are few other native cloud services, which is called IBM or Alibaba is there in the market, and Oracle OCI is also there. But when you compare to all the cloud services, AWS is in number one position right now. Okay. So what are the topics we covering as part of the AWS cloud? So how to create your an account, free account. So every AWS account, free account will provide you some kind of credits. You can use that credits to practice, understand the topics, and do your homeworks or completing your assignments. Okay. And what is a cloud computing? We have given a very quick understanding of what is cloud computing. We will be discussing about a real-time scenarios. What is a cloud computing? What is a cloud formations, availability zones, and whatnot. We will be discussing many other topics as part of the AWS cloud. Okay. And tour of the console and services, and identity and access management. So who and all given access, who and all needs to access, how we can able to restrict the developers to access the important data. Okay. And we will be talking about the elastic cloud computing, how you can able to use the EC2s to process, and how can you decide your CPUs, and how can you launch your remote desktops and all you can do using an EC2. You will be learning. And Amazon S3 storage, simple service storage, very, 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 very important topic and crucial role in the AWS. Okay. And if you go to any interview, there will be always a question on an S3. So we will be learning S3, what are the buckets, or what are the lifecycle managements, how we can able to use Athena on S3, how can you query the using an S3, many, many, many more services will be learning in S3. And Lambda. Okay. And event triggers. So as soon as the data is available, if you want to trigger something, so we will be covering a Lambda over there. Okay. And DynamoDB for a non-structured data. Okay. And we will be covering in a glue to process the ETL kind of transformations, or ETL type of works to cover in an AWS. We will be covering as AWS glue. We will be talking about both theoretically, and we will be doing a hands-on also on that. And we will be covering an Athena to access the data available in S3. How can you run your analytics using that? Okay. We will be talking about a Redshift, and we will be discussing about the comparison of a Redshift with the Snowflake, benefits, pros and cons, and everything we'll be discussing. And EMR also we will be discussing how we are going to handle the big data in an AWS. Okay. With that, we will be learning few other cloud services like cloud logging, how you are going to see what is the errors happening. So how can you able to set up your IAM roles? Many other we will be covering as part of the AWS cloud. Okay. And finally, within a DBT Labs, as I said, DBT Labs it's a brand new technology. I would say brand new means it is available from last 2-3 years and extensively used for creating a modeling. In US and UK, a lot of companies are adopted creating a modeling. So DBT gives a very easy environment to create a snapshots or create a models. Okay. So we will be covering as part of this DBT Labs, DBT free trial accounts, DBT project structures, how to create data folders, seeds, and etc. And common table expressions how to be created, materialization overviews, either views or tables, what we need to have as part of the requirement. Can we design that models based on the materializations and dependencies, and we will be creating a lineages and reference from model to model. Okay, you no need to rewrite the whole models again. You can just refer it with a very simple commands, how it is going to save a lot of time for us. Okay, and materialization, project level materialization and table type materializations we can do. Seeds and source we will be discussing, and source freshness, how when the data got refreshed in the tables, I want to have only the latest information for my analytics. So in that cases, we will be checking the freshness, and we will be creating the snapshots, how the data is changing from day to day or time to time when it is loading into the tables. We will be discussing about the test cases. While you are loading the data, you have to perform some kind of test cases. You can perform at while the time you are running itself. Okay, or if your test case is failed, you want to stop the process. So that kind of test cases we will be discussing as part of the DBT labs, and we will be talking or creating about the writing and exploring documentation in the DBTs, and we will be helping out to guidance to the certification, free certifications which DBT is providing right now. So we will guide you that how you can able to gain that kind of certifications, completing the assignments in DBT. And in Snowflake also, we will guide you to get some badges and add it to your resumes, and how can you present it when you go into your jobs. Okay, so let's talk about, we discussed about what are the technical aspects or technical things we are going to discuss as part of this training. So let's see what is the time frame it is going to take, how long we are going to have this training. Okay, as I said in the start, we are going to start this training from July, a new batch. Currently we have an existing batch running. So if any people who are already familiar with the SQL, we are going to start our Snowflake, AWS and DBT from coming week. So if you are interested to join from a Snowflake onwards, if you are already aware of SQL, and we will be talking about a SQL also in between when we are talking about a Snowflake or a DBT, we will be covering a bit of SQL knowledge. If you're already having a SQL knowledge, and if you are looking to have your knowledge improvement towards a cloud areas like a Snowflake, AWS and a DBT, you are still welcome to join the batch from here. So there is a deviation in the cost as well, because you are not joining into the SQL. So if not, there is a new batch is going to start from the next month, that is from July. So this is how on the screen you're seeing, right? So this is how we are going to represent, and this is how the training schedule is going to be. So it is going to start from July. So in July, we will be talking about a SQL training. So as part of that, what are the topics we have covered as part of MySQL installation, basic to advanced SQL, we will be learning in July. So after covering it's going to start in from August, a small deviation to this one. So it is going to start from August. So in August, we are going to have this from a SQL training, and from SQL training is completed. And then in August itself, we will be starting our Snowflake process. So in Snowflake, it is going to be we are going to cover all the topics what we have seen in the previous slides. So Snowflake also will cover there. And while we discussing the topics, okay, so we as a KSR Datavizon, we follow a process where we will be giving an assignments, and we will be asking a candidates to be completed that assignments within allocated time to proceed further. Okay, and also for every technology, we have a retrospective meeting. That is like we will have a 2 days of meeting to understand whether you are good at the technology, or if you have any other questions. And we will have a 1 day of review session also. So we will be randomly asking a persons to represent their project or assignments in that meeting. Okay, so with that, by mid of the September, we will be completing our all Snowflake and a SQL assignments, and a kind of like a project what we have given in our training process. Okay, that's a phase one. So as per the goals of the phase one is going to be, you should be in a master in a SQL by the time, and you would able to build the pipelines in a Snowflake, and you would able to complete your assignments as your own and get it reviewed within a mentors and an other colleagues. Okay, and you are ready to attempt the official Snowflake badges, giving an exams and getting the certifications done for yourself. Okay, so in third week or a fourth week of September, we will be starting an AWS training. So in that AWS training, we will be talking about the data engineering concepts, and for every concepts there is going to be a lab. So, okay, so you have to complete the lab and you have to submit the lab within the within the allocated time. And as I said, at the end of the session, end of the training session for each technology, there will be in a review session and there will be a retrospective sessions. There, each candidate has to represent their own project and why they have followed that way and why others followed a different way, and what is exactly the optimization between the two ways. Okay, so in September it will start, and in September we will complete the AWS, and we will be start creating our DBT cloud accounts in a September, end of the September probably. And once we are into a September, the DBT will go till October, probably a second week or a third week of an October, DBT cloud will be going. So there we will be learning all how to create the modelings, how to get the referentials, how to connect with the Snowflake, how to connect with an AWS, what are the kind of data connectors we have within a DBT cloud, how snapshots, what is an SCD, how the SCD works. This all we will be learning as part of the DBT cloud. Okay, by end of the September or start of the October, the whole technical trainings will be completed. That's called as a phase 2. In phase 2, we have the goals is understand the cloud versus on-premise, and you are ready to build your pipelines in AWS connecting to your different other services in an AWS, and you could able to theoretically also strong to explain what is a cloud to the others and what is the difference between the on-premises to cloud. Okay, and you could able to you should able to complete your assignments by the time with the training we are going to provide. Okay, and DBT, you will be ready, start giving your free certification in your DBT. Okay, so end of the October, so we have a different teams. We call it as in a placement cells. So and in a resume cells. So what we'll do is we will be helping you to prepare your resume, and we will be explaining the projects, how to use the Jira, how to work the there is a design documents and all. So we will be giving a 1 week of time there. We will be helping you to understand what is a design in projects will work, how you are going to log your efforts, how you are going to actually act as a person inside the requirements and inside the projects, how you need to use the Jira. Okay, and what is the life cycle of the project? So SLDC life cycles, Agile life cycle, we will be understanding. And after that, you will be start attending the placement cells. In our placement cells, we have an experts. So they will pull all the opportunities available in the market, and they will be presenting to you, and they will be reviewing your resumes, and they will be suggesting you to what interviews you have to attend and where to attempt and what you need to do it. Okay, that's a phase 3. By start of the November or mid of the November, you are ready to give an interviews, and you could able to identify the right job for your profile, what you have. Okay, the goals of a phase 3 is going to be you would able to submit all the assignments and reviews by the time, and understanding how real-time project works and what are the management tools will be used inside the projects, how the designs will be done, and how you could be able to do the design walkthrough. Like, there is a small project came in. So how you are going to do, I want to read this file, process this file, load this file, how you are going to represent that as a design. Okay, and you could able to post your resume in a LinkedIn and a Naukri for the job hunt. Okay, and our placement team will help you throughout this placement timing, and will be always available for any queries. Okay, so hardly, if you see, this is going to be almost like a 3.5 to 4 months of a training, including your placement cell as well. So this is the course tenure or the duration is going to be. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, the summary, right? So we almost finished with our slides. Okay, so we would have understand what is a cloud computing, what data engineers needed, and what technologies is needed in the market right now. Okay, so the most challenging aspect, right? So being a data engineer, we always needs an experience. Okay, we always suggest candidates practice and come back to the mentors and ask your own questions. Okay, and get yourself resolved with that issues and start giving an interviews. Okay, a failure in interviews is not the stop for you. Okay, so at KSR Datavizon, we believe giving it 110% all the time by using our experienced mentors or trainees. Okay, with the training we are providing, okay, we will assure that person will able to find the best and the right job. Okay, because the way we are operating from a few years, we know how the market works, and the backend team what working pulling from a different areas, how it works, and how you have to attend the interviews and all. They are experts, we call experts, and we will give an extra classes also to understand how you need to behave at the interview times. Okay, So moving on to the last slide. So job opportunities are not like buses. There is always another one coming. Okay. So as I said, if you miss in a single opportunity, there is always plenty of opportunities. All we need to do is we have in a right information handy, and we are right to start giving our best in that interviews, and we will get you ready for that one. Okay. So for further details, you can contact this information. Okay. You can drop an email to support@datavision.com, and you can leave us a comments in www.datavision.com, or the numbers, couple of numbers you're seeing on the screen, you can call them. So admin team are always happy to help you. Either you are going to take a training or not. If you need some guidance, or if you need something to understand more and more about the trainings or the way it is going to be, they are always happy to help you. Okay. Looking forward to see you all. Okay. All the best to everyone, and thank you so much.